We rolling?
Yes.
Welcome back to another VC reaction video. I'm Matt.csmith, the VC. Behind the camera is
Rufus.
That's right, and together we are LUNICORN on YouTube. And in this day's video, what are we reacting to?
Dropbox presentation from 2007.
We all know Dropbox. It's been around. It's the OG file sharing company. Well, it might not be. Let me know if it's the OG one. I think it's the OG one, original one. Anyway, let's go straight into it. Dropbox, moving the world's files. Now, I see they've done something interesting here. It used to be something that startups used to do. They would put the URL to the website on the page. http://www. I've got something better for you founders. Put a QR code on the front slide there. So if you have an app, you can download the app straight away. If it goes to your website, if it's to a video or whatever, I've seen very few founders do that. It's super cool. You can do it on a big presentation in a physical big live audience, and everyone on their phones can actually like zoom in and take a photo and go check out those things. Next slide. Storage is a mess. Good. What they're doing here is talking about the problem. What have we told people about? Selling the problem, and you want us to sell the solution. Right now, storage is a mess. I can see this. This is a crazy hoarder with beer bottles and horribleness. Anyway, they're talking about data storage. There's some computers in there. Very true. Nice little visual narrative. Next slide. It's 2007 and it's still a pain point. Oh my God. Remember saying it's 2007. It's definitely 2021 right now. Working on multiple computers, sharing files across teams. So true. That was a pain point. Before Google Drive came in, before Dropbox came in, giving us this ability to make documents living. They're living documents. Whereas back in the day, it was you were sharing Word documents and commenting and adding black text, yellow text, just to make sure that people could different between what you said and what they said. Smart, selling the problem, and they followed up to really reiterate the point. Now, I want to make one point here as well, that they've got the logo in every slide. I see startups do this sometimes, having the logo in every slide. You can do that, the bottom left or the bottom right or the top left, top right. It's okay. If you want to really get your logo across, it could be a way to sort of subliminally market the brand as well. If people see the logo anywhere else after this, they are most likely going to recognize and connect that. That's Dropbox logo because I saw that in a presentation somewhere sometime. Anyway, in a perfect world, your files are available wherever you are, on any device. Never worry about losing data, can always be undone. What I like about this is it's like they've written a simple script of words and they put it into bullet point format. I have seen so many successful companies from back in the day that simply did bullet point presentations because fortunately for them, it was a simple problem that everyone felt. They emphasized the point of that, and a simple solution. They provided that solution. So they used a simple word narrative to describe what they're doing. That's what these guys are doing so successfully. You know what? Here's some good advice for you founders or anyone out there who wants to make a presentation. Often, you need to bring the audience or whoever's looking at this, the investor or whatever, into the user journey of the product. Take me through the user journey. Have an example. User comes into Dropbox, downloads a folder that they pay for, and they drop files in and they share that link with anyone. I want to see the journey. It's never underestimate the oversimplification of your product's user journey. It gets people into the picture. They can start to see problems. They can ask questions around the user journey. How are you storing the data? How are you encrypting the servers? All these kind of things. So that's something that I don't see too often. And I like to emphasize that founders can really make good presentations when they simply take the audience through the user journey. Then there's no confusion. Everyone knows exactly how the product works and how it benefits the users. Demo. All right, so they've come to the demo. Bear in mind, live demos are always a massive risky one, but they've done a demo here. They've got a few examples. Now, don't overdo your demos. Simple screenshots, simple wireframes from your product are good enough. Just make sure they're big enough because this is too small. I can't even see this. I'm leaning in right now. Whereas if you think about it, if it's on a big presentation on like a massive screen behind you, if you're doing this physically, then that could maybe work. But if someone's reading this too, I'm gonna have to zoom in. I don't wanna have to zoom in. Why now? Now, this is a great example of someone saying the market opportunity. Now, what do investors invest in? They invest in teams that execute over time, but also they invest in markets that are growing, right? Investors want to invest in hot markets. A lot of VCs are trying to show that they are investing in an industry that is emerging. They're front investors in that. They're going to get behind some of the best companies who are going to define the industry and get the largest market shares. So showing why now is the time is a great way to get this FOMO, fear of missing out, from investors, from customers, from anyone that actually wants to get part of your business, even employing people.
Do you think 2007 was the right time?
To invest in Dropbox? I think any time other than today was the great time to invest in Dropbox. I mean, in hindsight, we always say oh, I wish I invested then. So I think just get involved now, because how many people say it's too late to invest in crypto? And they said that 3 months ago, and look where crypto is to this day. Just get involved, forget about history, just think about the next 5 to 10 years. That's how people make money. That's how the future is defined. It's not defined last 10 years, it's defined in the next 10 years. Why did they screw up? They're talking about the competitiveness here and why they haven't done a great job with their products and solutions. This is a risky one. If you start naming and shaming other companies, never do that. Never do that. Because I want you to think about your competitors as complementers. Because think about it this way. If you're a first mover, if you're one of the first movers in an industry, you need to educate the people. You need to educate your customers that your service is worth spending money on. And if there's more people pitching them for these types of services, the more likelihood that you and others are going to educate the market quicker. If you're the first person, you have a job to educate everyone. And then actually you do a favor for anyone who comes after you and maybe does a better job pitching their product because you've educated them for the necessity of the product. So never underestimate your competitors, because also your competitors could buy you. You could buy them. You could merge. So don't ever build walls, build bridges between your competitors and yourself, because you never know where they're gonna be, you never know where you're gonna be. One day you might need to call them and say, hey, you need to buy our tech, and it actually might work out for you. Vice versa, you wanna buy them. But if you have walls up, not bridges, that's going to be a very difficult conversation. They're going to be asking for crazy valuations, or they're going to be trying to buy you for nothing. So just think about your competitors as complementers. The team, always very important to emphasize. Now, ex-Google, okay, so they've emphasized the point that the founders are educated and domain experts. They come from big brands. Now, what they've done here, which is what I urge any startup to do in any presentation, is to always associate your team with successful brands, if you can, of course. I have a bone to pick with any founders. I hate it when founders say, we've got 60 years cumulative experience. No, you don't. You have 6 people who have 10 years of experience over the last 10 years. You don't have 60 years of experience. If you have 60 years of experience, you've seen how the whole industry was born over the last 60 years. You don't. You have 10 years of experience. Don't add up your experience and we have 150 years of experience. No, you don't. You have 15 years with 10 people. Ugh! Hate it when startups do that. Anyway, use simple pictures like Google and put it by the founder's name and you're good to go. And then this is what they've done in the last one. Now remember this, founders, and anyone who's making a presentation, that you should open strong and close strong. And also you should always try to introduce a mic drop moment. Remember Obama? If you have the chance to do a mic drop moment, use it. A mic drop moment can be anything. I've used it in the past of saying, and today we'd like to announce we've signed Microsoft, which I did that pitch in 2018. Anyway, they've said they're ranked #1 amongst the summer startups of Y Combinator. Y Combinator is the holy grail. It is the Harvard, the Oxford of startup accelerators in the world, out of San Francisco. Sam Altman used to run it. Find a mic drop moment. Thank you so much for watching this episode. As always, I've been Matt C. Smith. That's Rufus Tangen. Rufus, what do we tell the lovely people?
Please subscribe and send in your pitch deck so we can review it.
Send in your pitch decks and Rufus and I will review this live, and I will literally go through your pitch deck with commentary, with highlights, lowlights, try to make it better. I promise you I'll be gentle and kind. Thanks for watching this episode. I'll see you in the next one. Make sure to subscribe. Ciao. Woo.